There is a reason you are guided to this message today. That feeling deep inside you was never random. Something within you has been searching for clarity, trying to understand emotions you could never fully explain to anyone else. For a long time, you kept these feelings hidden, afraid people would misunderstand you or dismiss what your heart has been trying to tell you. But no matter how much you tried to ignore it, the feeling never truly disappeared. That quiet inner voice has stayed with you through every moment, speaking softly in peaceful mornings and echoing loudly in the silence of the night. What you are carrying is not confusion. It is not weakness. It is your soul trying to reveal something real to you. Deep down, you have sensed a connection that feels impossible to describe, and now a higher awareness wants you to stop doubting what your spirit already knows. If this message feels like it found you for a reason, take a moment and leave a like right now. You may have tried to push these emotions away. Maybe you blamed them on loneliness, past wounds, or wishful thinking. Yet the truth continues returning to your heart because it was never meant to be ignored. There is a reason this person remains on your mind. There is a reason their silence still carries meaning. There is a reason your intuition refuses to let go. What you are experiencing reaches beyond attraction or ordinary attachment. It is a recognition that exists at the level of the soul, something deeper than logic can fully explain. You are not imagining this connection. Your heart is not inventing stories out of desperation. There is an energy pulling you toward a truth your mind keeps trying to silence. The mind often reacts from fear, pain, and old emotional scars. It wants to protect you by labeling intense feelings as unhealthy attachment or emotional dependence. But true soul connections feel different. They carry a calm certainty instead of chaos. Even during separation or silence, there remains a quiet sense of knowing that cannot be shaken. When two souls are genuinely connected, there is often an unexpected peace beneath everything. It does not rely on constant communication or reassurance. Instead, it comes from something much deeper, a feeling that this bond is safe, meaningful, and guided by something greater than both people involved. This connection entered your life for a reason. It came to awaken parts of you that had been asleep for years. It challenged you to grow, to look deeper within yourself, and to become more honest about who you truly are. This person became more than a romantic interest. They became a mirror reflecting hidden parts of your soul, encouraging transformation and emotional growth. The intensity you feel is not a passing fantasy. It is an old spiritual recognition calling you toward a greater version of yourself. Trust the path unfolding before you. Trust the quiet certainty that continues living inside your heart because it is guiding you toward the person you were always meant to become. Comment chosen if you have felt a soul connection so strong that it refuses to leave your heart. One of the clearest signs of this kind of bond is how powerful and persistent the feeling remains. Its depth catches you off guard. Its strength makes no logical sense. You may have tried everything to move on. You may have distracted yourself, denied your emotions, buried them under everyday life, or convinced yourself it was over. But somehow the feeling survives every attempt to erase it. Ordinary emotional attachment fades with time. Fear of loneliness weakens when new people enter your life. But this connection continues holding on to your spirit, even when circumstances seem to push you apart. That is because your soul recognizes something unfinished. There is a deeper purpose still unfolding. What you feel is real. It was not created by fantasy or emotional weakness. This connection entered your life through divine timing. And when destiny places someone on your path, it is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to transform you. The changes happening inside you now are only the beginning. You have probably asked yourself difficult questions. If this connection is real, then why the distance? Why the silence? Why would something that felt so aligned suddenly become separated? These questions have weighed heavily on your heart, yet the answers always seemed just beyond your reach. But hear this clearly. What has been placed inside your soul cannot simply disappear. Not time, not fear, not silence, and not physical distance can erase what was truly meant to touch your life. What is destined for you always finds its way back, even when the road ahead looks impossible. Some connections are temporary and easily broken. Others are different. No matter how hard the ego tries to force an ending, the soul refuses to let the story close. Sometimes two people separate not because the bond failed, but because growth is necessary before the connection can fully become what it was meant to be. This person carries an important role in your journey, not only because of your emotions, but because this connection serves a purpose beyond what you can currently see. There is something unfolding beneath the surface of your daily life, something larger guiding both of you toward healing, awakening, and spiritual growth. Nothing about this meeting happened by accident. The emotions that awakened inside you were not random. Even if your mind tries to convince you otherwise, your soul already understands the truth. Deep within yourself, you know this chapter does not feel complete. That is because it is not over. What feels like an ending is actually a pause, a period of preparation, a hidden transformation taking place behind the scenes. The pain, confusion, and distance are not proof that everything collapsed. They are signs that something deeper is being rebuilt in a stronger way. Both of you needed time to heal unresolved wounds, release unhealthy patterns, and grow into the people capable of holding a connection this intense. Some bonds require separation before true alignment can happen. Destiny sometimes uses distance to create maturity, wisdom, clarity, and emotional strength. The universe does not unite souls like this carelessly. It prepares them first. And sometimes the silence you fear is not rejection at all. Sometimes it is simply the space needed for two souls to become ready for the love they are truly meant to experience. Both of you are no longer the same people you once were. Time, distance, and experience have changed something inside each of you. What feels impossible from where you stand now is, from a higher perspective, simply a period of growth and transformation. Your human mind sees separation and uncertainty, but a greater consciousness already sees the full path ahead. It sees the moment when both of you finally reach a place of clarity, healing, and emotional readiness, where fear no longer controls the connection. Type yes if you want the universe to confirm this person is part of your destiny. Even though you cannot yet understand everything unfolding behind the scenes, the universe already knows where this journey leads. That is why this message is reaching you now. It is trying to stop you from abandoning something real because of temporary confusion. It is reminding you not to mistake fear for truth or silence for an ending. This connection entered your life for reasons far deeper than ordinary romance. This bond was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to transform you. It came to challenge you, awaken you, and help you evolve into someone stronger and more complete. Real soul recognition does not simply disappear with time. Genuine love deepens, matures, and grows through every lesson it faces. The uncertainty you feel is not proof you are on the wrong path. In many ways, confusion is the beginning of awakening. It is the clash between your intuition and your fear. It is the tension between what your heart already senses and what your mind still struggles to accept. To understand why this distance exists, you must understand the purpose behind it. This silence is not abandonment. This separation is not rejection. It is alignment taking place beneath the surface. The universe is rearranging both of your lives, healing old wounds, clearing emotional baggage, and preparing you for the weight of a connection this powerful. Imagine two people meant for each other, meeting before they are emotionally ready. The intensity would become overwhelming. Their unresolved pain would rise to the surface, turning something sacred into confusion and emotional chaos. Instead of healing each other, they would trigger every hidden wound they had not yet faced. A higher power does not allow a connection like this to collapse under emotional immaturity. That is why this pause exists. It is not punishment, it is protection. It is a space created so the bond can survive long enough for both souls to grow into it properly. The universe stepped in not to separate you forever, but to preserve what is real until both of you could return to it from a healthier place. What feels like distance is actually a period of inner transformation. Both of you are being guided through separate journeys so you can heal individually before coming together again. At a soul level, this was understood long before either of you met in the physical world. There was an unspoken agreement between your spirits that growth would come first. Healing would come first. Only then could this connection fully become what it was meant to be. This phase exists so old wounds, fears, unhealthy habits, and emotional walls can finally fall away. Without that healing, love would slowly become fear, dependency, pressure, and emotional exhaustion. Destiny does not want you trapped inside attachment. It wants you emotionally free and spiritually strong. Distance forces you to face parts of yourself you may have avoided for years. Fear of abandonment, fear of loneliness, fear of not being enough. As long as those wounds remain unhealed, they continue shaping your relationships and attracting painful cycles into your life. This period is here to break those patterns. It is bringing hidden pain into the light so it can finally be released. The universe is quietly guiding you toward inner wholeness first, because only a whole version of you can truly hold a love like this without fear destroying it. And as you begin healing yourself, something important starts shifting between you. The energy changes. The connection becomes clearer and more balanced because destiny is not asking you to sit still and suffer while waiting. It is asking you to grow. You are being prepared. What you also need to understand is that this transformation is not happening only within you. Even if you cannot see it, the same force changing your life is also changing theirs. Their journey may look different on the outside, but internally they are going through their own awakening. While you search for understanding, they may still be resisting theirs. While you are trying to trust your intuition, they may still be fighting what they feel. While you are learning surrender, they may still be hiding behind fear. But destiny moves both souls forward, whether they are ready or not. What appears to you as distance is not peace for them, it is struggle. What looks like indifference is often avoidance. They are exhausted from pretending this connection did not affect them deeply. They tried to convince themselves it was temporary, meaningless, or simply bad timing. But the soul cannot permanently hide from truth. The ego creates stories to feel safe. It says things like, "I'm fine without this," or "It never really mattered." But soul-level connections cannot stay buried beneath denial forever. Eventually, the universe removes every distraction people use to escape themselves. The things that once kept them busy no longer feel fulfilling. The comfort they used to rely on starts fading. Silence becomes louder. Memories become impossible to ignore. They begin encountering moments where thoughts of you appear unexpectedly and refuse to leave. Not because of obsession, but because of recognition. Their soul remembers what their mind keeps resisting. Dreams, songs, random thoughts, sudden emotional shifts, moments of unexplained clarity. All of it becomes part of the awakening they can no longer escape. They try to stay logical, but their intuition continues bringing your presence back into their awareness. They are not silent because they forgot you. They are silent because they cannot fully escape what they feel. The ego has always been their protection. It fears vulnerability, uncertainty, and emotional exposure. It fears stepping into something that cannot be controlled or predicted. But soul connections do not operate through control. They demand honesty, and honesty threatens the ego. So the ego builds walls, and destiny slowly tears those walls apart. The universe is now using silence to dismantle their defenses piece by piece. The distractions no longer work the way they once did. The people and routines that once helped them avoid their emotions suddenly feel empty. Everywhere they turn, they are confronted with reminders of what they tried to suppress. Their inner world has become louder than ever before. This struggle is necessary. Without it, they would return unchanged. Without it, fear and pride would continue controlling the connection. The universe is allowing their old identity to break apart so they can eventually return with greater openness, honesty, and emotional maturity. That is why you cannot measure this silence as absence. It is preparation. Their fears are being exposed. Their pride is weakening. Their emotional defenses are being challenged from within. The same way life is refining you, it is refining them too. Both of you are approaching a major turning point, a moment where resistance begins fading and clarity starts becoming stronger than fear. This shift is not about how much time has passed. It is about emotional readiness. They are moving toward the point where living without this connection becomes more painful than finally facing the truth of it. And when they return, it will not come from temporary loneliness or emotional impulse. It will come from surrender, a true surrender of the ego. Their return will be different because they will no longer be running from what they feel. It will come from genuine inner change, from humility, from emotional honesty, and from finally admitting that this connection was never something they could truly leave behind. Eventually, they will realize that the love they spent so much time trying to escape was the very thing their soul had been guiding them toward all along. And now, as this powerful shift draws nearer, the universe gently turns your attention back toward yourself. Slow down for a moment. Breathe deeply. Listen carefully to what your spirit has been trying to show you all along. What sign keeps appearing connected to this person? Maybe it is a repeating dream that feels too vivid to ignore. Maybe it is a number sequence that follows you everywhere. A song that suddenly plays at the exact moment they cross your mind. A memory that rises unexpectedly. Or strange coincidences that feel far too meaningful to be random. These are not meaningless accidents. They are signals guiding you toward awareness. Share this message with someone who needs reassurance that they are not losing their mind for feeling unable to let go. The signs appearing around you are not there to confuse you. They are there to align you with truth. Whatever keeps repeating itself in your life deserves your attention. Trust the signs that bring calmness, clarity, and peace to your spirit. Fear belongs to the ego. Peace belongs to intuition. Deep inside, you already know the difference. You are not imagining this bond. You are not clinging to fantasy. There is a real movement happening beneath the surface for both of you. Emotions that were buried are beginning to rise again. Awareness is growing stronger. Truth is becoming impossible to avoid. Everything is slowly moving toward a moment that has already been prepared by destiny itself. All this healing, silence, emotional growth, and inner awakening has been leading toward one major turning point. The universe does not guide two souls through such deep transformation without purpose. Every stage of separation, every lesson in surrender, every emotional challenge has been preparing the foundation for something much bigger than either of you can currently see. And when that moment finally arrives, it will not feel uncertain or confusing. It will not come through vague hints or mixed signals. It will be direct, undeniable, and impossible to misunderstand. Divine timing does not leave room for constant doubt once the path is fully ready to unfold. When destiny moves, it does not whisper quietly in confusion. It reveals itself clearly. The action this person eventually takes will not come from impulse or convenience. It will come from someone who has finally become exhausted from running away from what their soul already knows. They will reach a point where avoiding the truth hurts more than facing it. When they step forward, their energy will feel different. There will be honesty where fear once existed, vulnerability where pride once stood, openness where avoidance once controlled everything. The walls they spent so long protecting themselves with will finally begin to fall away. But timing matters. The universe does not reunite two people at the height of desperation. It brings them together when both are emotionally capable of holding the connection without destroying it through fear, insecurity, or emotional dependency. That is why this period of distance was necessary. You were never meant to lose yourself waiting for another person. You were meant to discover yourself through this journey. Every lesson pushed you toward becoming stronger, wiser, calmer, and more emotionally grounded. Now your final step is not chasing, forcing, or trying to control the outcome. Your final step is becoming fully ready to receive love without fear. That means letting go of resentment, insecurity, and the need to control how everything unfolds. Stop trying to script every possible future in your mind. Stop demanding specific outcomes from the universe. What truly belongs to you will not need to be forced into place. It will arrive naturally when the foundation is strong enough to hold it. You must also release the remaining pain connected to the past. The ego likes to hold on to old wounds because those wounds justify fear and emotional distance. But love cannot flow freely where bitterness still lives. Share this message with someone who needs hope right now, and leave your story in the comments, because your journey matters more than you realize.